perfectly fine.
I'm assuming they're named after rivers. Well, I'd probably be flying the thing. Pretty sure I have the best con score.
I think we're tied.
What's that?
I think we're tied with 4. Unless you've got a 5. I forget.
Yep.
Salon's going to be looking at what information Starfleet has available on the research outpost and looking for any logs that they've sent since they sent in the last few months.
And Vogel will be looking into what they were studying on the planet, specifically experiments and such, dangers, hazards. I'll give you a threat roll, third dice. Xenobiology for a focus. Yeah, like what they were studying, what experiments they're running, any charted hazards or known hazards. Okay. None of those I have, so I'll just roll it. Well, I'd do it, but I gotta go mobile, so.
I can do it.
I will add to your threat pool as well for my roll.
Typey. So it's probably like half turn in a chair to look back at the doctor fellow we've got, and so I'm Lieutenant Zuresa. Should probably get to know who you are a little bit, given we're going to be, uh, well, doing this whole thing together for a while.
Understandable. I am Lieutenant Commander Dr. Alex Brightmoon, and I've recently been assigned as the Chief Medical Officer on board. And I was born and raised on Bajor, actually, but I'm not Bajoran. I'm human, and I'm looking forward to this mission. It seems like it's going to be really interesting.
Well, good to meet you, sir. Um, well, if you can't tell by the fur and the ears and the tail, I'm from Kate.
That was going to be my first guess, yes.
It'd be good to have, well, Chief of Medical. Dr. Desmond does her best, but she's kind of always been more on the side of I would rather just do my job and not worry about other things, if I get my impression of her correct.
I'm not 100% sure I know what you mean.
Um, Less worrying about paperwork, which was, I think, your job now.
Yes, the ever dreaded paperwork.
But I am our chief of security.
Oh, well, much respect. That's a job I don't think I could do.
In the same manner that I couldn't do your job. I can, in a pinch, save a life, but not do much more than that.
Oh, I understand. I spent a lot of my career working in emergency medicine and trauma surgery, so I can understand that it's not for everybody.
That is very much true. Anyway, uh, do you have any insight into what we should look up before we get here? We've got time. We might as well do what we can ahead of time.
I don't know that necessarily I would consider it insight, but I was choosing to spend the time that we have in travels reading the log entries from the four team members, trying to get a sense of what they were working on and what they were facing and how they were handling the unique challenges that I'm sure this kind of team presented them.
Uh, well, good luck with that, Doctor. If you need a hand, let me know, but, um, well, I'm sure you can handle it.
Well, thank you for the offer.
Hmm.
I'll let you know.
The logs appear routine, nothing out of ordinary. Lieutenant Vogel, what have you discovered?
Most of their research has been with the local wildlife and the local fauna. I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. Some of the plants on the planets are toxic, but the antitoxins that the team carried with them seem to have been able to handle anything. I'll send them over. I'll send the reports over to you, Doctor, just so you could double check.
That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I could take a look for any security alerts for the local system. I'm not sure we'll see anything, but it's always worth double checking.
I'd like to look through all four the collected log entries, have the computer do a search for terms like worried, threatened, any kind of negative words that, especially in the last several entries, trying to see if I could make a guess as to what might have happened, why they went dark. May I request a clarification, please? When you say there's no entries, are you saying I did not get any? I did not find any of those search terms, or there are no logs? Oh, okay.
So something sudden.
What
The
about
doctor-
their
Go ahead.
What about their personnel files? We get basic demographics on the research team.
Turning to the security officer, I'm looking through their logs, and there's no indication that whatever did happen, they weren't worried, they weren't being threatened. They had no sense of anything going wrong. All of their logs seem to be just mundane, informational. They seem to be in good spirits.
So that would suggest it was something sudden, surprised them, or I don't know, a tree fell and hit their communications antenna. Is a
Is there any reports of inclement weather on this planet? Maybe. Do we have are we able to get in contact with the station, or is it like the contact has been cut? Like, like the computer link? Okay. Yep. Cool.
So the whole station is dark, but primarily we're looking for this 4-man team. No, I was just trying to clarify the setting. Oh, okay.
That sounds good to me.
I mean, we have it.
Do they have registered reasons for why those outages occurred? Hmm.
Is that all the detail they provide?
I was correct about a fallen tree.
Are the research? Is this a civilian research team or are they Starfleet?
I should check just to make sure that there's been no Starfleet security notifications in the sector. Any known pirate or undesirable activity. Reason security have a threat. Investigative techniques? Question mark. Fish? Fish. Fish. Okay. Hmm. Okay, keep an eye out for Ferengi. Got it. No reported uh, threats to the research station or anything within the sector. It's still possible something could have been undetected or unreported, but it's less likely. I could check their security backgrounds though to see if there's any interesting notes. The individuals on the station or post.
How experienced are they in general? Like time and service kind of thing.
It might be worth checking beforehand if the location of the outpost has anything that would interfere with sensors, so we know ahead of time. Okay, good to know.
Dr. Brightman, is there anything in the researchers' medical files of note that we need to be of concern with?
Let me look real quick. GM? Everything appears to be pretty standard. but I do see here where Dr. Riley is showing a tree nut allergy.
Oh, that might change things if it was a giant tree nut that fell on their communications dish. But other than that, s- um, yes,
What's our ETA at this point?
Logo will check the nav sensors. About 12 hours.
The doctor takes the pad he's reading and stands up away from the station and just kind of paces back and forth along the back wall of the cabin.
I can't think of anything else to prerequisite check.
Yeah, I'm out of ideas myself.
Speed of plot speed.
Time to go take a nap.
That
Yeah,
doesn't sound like a half bad idea.
when we come out of warp, we should verify that the research station's runabout is still present, because they do have one.
Aye, sir. I'll set sensors to scan for it just in case. Setting standard orbit, Commander. I'll use a momentum to turn on my cautious. Sensor ops for a focus. I did, yes. We don't have any special sensors with this runabout, right? Only 2 questions. Boom.
Only 2.
You don't know how strong 3 questions is.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, the first scans I would do is try to locate the away team And if that failed, I would try to locate their runabout per the commander's orders. Plans. Yep. Commander, I am not detecting the research team. However, I am still reading the runabout on its launch pad. The station seems to be covered in the native fauna, sir.
Could that be interfering with our sensor?
According to the station's previous logs, that is some of the reasons for their breaks in communications in the past. But this overgrowth seems to be interfering on a much deeper level, sir. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire station is overwhelmed by this vegetation.
What is the sensors telling us about the flora?
Can we get a determination of the species? Like, is it viney? Is it moss, trees?
Do we have any sort of historical information on the planet itself? Is this kind of rapid plant growth common?
I think that's why they were down here studying the plants, sir.
What about energy readings from the station? Is the station itself still online?
Am I picking up any energy signatures? I guess that'll be second question. Station appears to be dark, Commander.
Might I make a suggestion, Commander?
Of course.
I'm thinking, just to be on the safe side, we might want to use, I guess it would be called a parking orbit, and maybe beam down in EVAs so that what happened to their shuttle doesn't happen to ours.
I don't know about EVAs. That might be excessive unless there's something down there that is a contaminating or dangerous agent. Can we pick that up with scanners? Yeah, Vogel.
I'll scan for air quality scan. Make sure the air is breathable, make sure there's no toxins in it. Sure. More pollen than we'd be used to.
And we are dealing with unknown flora on a unknown planet, and we are missing 4 crew members. So I was suggesting the EVA suits merely as a safety precaution.
I'm not reading anything in the atmosphere that would indicate a need for EVA suits. However, I do see the doctor's reasoning. We don't really know what we're dealing with these plants.
And we're not sure what kind of safety precautions the team was or wasn't using at the time either.
Might be able to beam up a sample of the atmosphere for your analysis, Doctor.
might suggest bringing down some cutting implement, a knife for vegetation, for when we do end up going down.
Let's beam a sample of an air sample up into a containment field with some of the pollen that you mentioned. Let's make sure it's safe before we go down.
Our turn to Shren. I think I have a good sample. Well, you're in this, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I completely forgot. Sorry.
He just says that, sitting there like, wait, I don't need to anymore.
Here's a good place for you to beam up a sample, sir. And I'll send the coordinates over to his engineering station.
And I can set up internal force fields for containment.
Containment, like a medical or a scientific containment shell.
Still,
foot by foot.
Force fields isn't that a security thing either way? I think. Oh, that works either way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
I wasn't sure if you were
into a container.
Like
No. Container.
That works.
Small sample container.
Yeah, that always works better. Okay, going ahead and take a threat.
I can get that. Give me a second.
I got your sample here, Doc.
Okay. I guess I should run a standard analysis on the pollen and the gases content. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make sure to stock plenty of that in my kit when we go down. It looks like the my readings are matching what the runabout sensors were reading. Slightly higher than Earth standard O2 oxygen. There is various and sundry pollen in the air, but that's to be expected from a planet with this much flora. Um, and unless one of us has an allergic reaction, it doesn't seem like it poses any danger.
Very good. We'll issue rebreathers as a precaution at any rate. Is there any reason we can't beam into the research center, or is the plant life interfering with transporter signals at all?
Checking.
Do I
It
take
would
it to mean beam directly into it?
it would seem that the overgrowth is causing some interference with the transporters, sir. We won't know if we're beaming into an open room or into a plant itself. I recommend that we beam a few hundred meters away from the facility, just to be safe.
And I would suggest, as in knives or some other cutting tool, we'll need to get in somehow.
Phaser would work, Lieutenant.
Yes, but it is also using power and potentially starting fires. This would be my thought.
If that is what you recommend, Lieutenant Sarissa.
I think the forest fire would be low in this environment, given the growth rates.
Yeah, out of character. I mean, I see him on the show using phasers to cut through stuff all the time without lighting stuff on fire.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it.
In order for plants to grow this much, there have to be an abundance of water, which means we're not talking dry vegetation either.
Fair. Okay, fair enough then.
Rainforest.
Just out of character question, do we want to bring one of the support staff over to this runabout so the five of us players can go down together without having to leave one of us on the runabout?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Hmm. We can just ask one of them to come over. Uh, Leith probably. Would suggest Leith.
That sounds good. We'll have Jim. We'll have Leaf come over to the Mississippi here, and then the five of us are going to beam down. We're going to take rebreathers, and just in case Sarissa is onto something, let her bring her machete. I don't think machete.
Uh, it's that or a knife. I was thinking more a knife, which is slightly cheaper. I'll double check that though. I'll just get the thing open to take a look. Oh, they're actually exactly the same. Okay, sure. Opportunity one for either or, so a machete, I guess. So what? Why not? That's kind of surprising.
I'm just gonna bring some sample containers. You know, the scientist in me.
I would like to bring a second med kit just in case.
All
Is
right.
everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
And yep, if you need someone else to carry it, I can. Got a lovely prehensile tail.
No, I was just going to put both of them in a backpack.
Fair enough.
Well, I can't think of what we're forgetting or not thinking of. So I'll have Lieutenant Ensign Leaf keep a transporter lock on us, and we'll go down.
Okay.
Then me and Sarissa will go first.
Okay. Yes, there's the transporter pad back here, actually. Huh. Yeah, it's only two at a time. I
Oh, okay. Well, Leith has bold engineering,
do as you
so
must.
yeah, yeah, one. Reroll that sensor's engineering due to Leith's technical expertise.
It was closer. It was a 10 instead of a 12.
Well, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
The sensors on a shuttle so horrible.
Everything on the shuttle. And so that is really quick growth if this is just 3 days.
You said coming out of the door. Does that imply that the door is open?
But is there room to get inside through what's coming out of the door? Okay. Um. So
Do the
to
roots have
me,
like spines or thorns or any other hazards like?
does that look It's not just me that looks like something inside the facility grew out, right?
I concur.
Could they have... I mean, I'm not a scientist by any means, but could they have been maybe playing around with the speed of growth and it got away on them? I suppose we'll find out if we get inside and get access to their systems.
It could always be a natural phenomenon as well.
True.
If this happens around the same time every year, there might be something that happens on this planet every year or every 3 months that might cause this.
True, the station hadn't been here for a year yet. It's only been what? It was 7 months. Yes.
Jim, are there any visual differences between the plants coming out of the research station and the other plant life around us?
Is possible.
Lieutenant Vogel, could we get a sample from one of the plants coming out of the station and one of the nearby plants not related to it, compare for genetic differences?
Aye, sir, I could get working on that. I'll spend a momentum, try to get some more xenobiology here. Nobody. You get a reroll. Oh man, that would have been 5 successes if I had a focus.
Oh wow. He spent one.
Yep. Yeah, we're right.
Lieutenant Sarissa, Commander Fishran, perhaps while we're evaluating the plant life outside, can you examine the perimeter of the research station, looking for any structural concerns or external security threats?
Yes, sir.
Of course, sir.
Security. Oh, you get a threat. Uh, investigative techniques.
Okay, my bad.
Okay. And the runabout's not being actually crushed or anything like that. Like its structure is fine. Seems fine. Why do I not like that wording? I can't think of anything for the float.
Commander, I'm not reading any differences from the different trees around here.
Very well. Any recommendations before we proceed inside?
Oh, actually, might we be able to spot a easier way into the station? Like perhaps there's a window or something that's open that has more room to get in than the tree in the front door. Ah. It was worth asking if I could use that to make an advantage. Is there a way to walk up onto the roof from all of the growth? Okay, never mind then. Yeah, fair enough.
Let's proceed inside. Lieutenant Sarissa, you have the lead.
Aye, sir. She'll go to slip her way inside as best she can. Being cautious, yeah. Would this count as a balance check? Or something similar? Okay. Which has the prehensile tail assisting me with giving me a bonus d20. Oh, never mind, it's fitness. Derp. Haha, I thought, and then I had misremembered it. I got most of it correct. Athletics is a focus. Okay. And I will spend a momentum. Yikes.
Let it ride, let it ride.
We've got 6 momentum, though.
Wash it.
Might as well squash it, yeah.
You know I love complications.
I know you love complications. But overall inside it looks safe, air quotes. Okay. It's clear for you to come in, Commander, with the rest of the team.
All right, Salon will head in next and gesture for the rest of the team to follow him.
And Sarissa will step in enough to allow room for the rest of the team to follow, so she's not in the way.
that for everybody? Control con? I could probably roll this straight up.
The Shran, no.
Okay.
The wrong kind of footloose. I know.
And the other reason he gave that one is because Prax did it recently.
Alex goes over and scans the obviously injured leg to see if he can help.
It's not broken, Doc. I'm fine.
Well, to be fair, the Shran, I think you would, if you could have spoken, you would have said you were fine when I found you in the transporter room.
Analgesic and a tight bandage wrap.
Okay.
But he refused the doctor's aid.
He can be grumpy about it as it happens. Well, we can try locating their computer system. Might be able to pull the information, perhaps.
Come into the Shran, see if you can get power to some of these consoles. Lieutenant Sarissa, choose a member of the party and search the rest of the compound just to confirm that the research team is not here.
Doctor, I do believe you would be the best suited for looking for our missing people.
I cannot hear you very well.
Sorry, I believe you would be most suited for looking for our missing people.
I agree.
Let's take a look around and see if we can find anything remotely human here. Well, I mean, in terms of... You know what I mean. Not the walls.
Would a medical tricorder be sufficient for that kind of scan?
If you can, I don't know, can you scan specifically for human bones? That sounds a bit morbid, but I mean... Calcium deposits.
No fauna either?
There's not any
Well, by
like
fauna, I meant animal life or bug life.
mostly small mammals.
Oh yes, we saw rodents outside.
Yeah. Small
Okay.
rodents, yeah. They're there, just not noteworthy. Do the plants have any massive seed pods or anything like that that we can see?
If we can look for a significant portion of calcium or human bone structure, could potentially be a way to locate them if they're here and unfortunately not alive.
I still can't hear you.
You're gonna want to turn up your volume on your end then.
Who am I turning up?
Sarissa.
Hi. Just above you in the Discord.
Yep, I found it.
Okay. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that voice was actually being a lot quieter.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you try to do the accent, it is a touch quiet than your normal speaking voice, but I'm used to it.
Ah.
Sloan's going to assist the Shran and allow Lieutenant Vogel to see what else she can learn about this plant that's come up.
I would recommend we try to get the station's power up, and then we could just look at what the science team tried to find, or what they discovered about the plants.
And then go from there. Yeah.
I think that would give us a lot more information than trying to start from scratch a research project.
Yeah, I mean that's what the Shran and I are doing. I figured I'd just give Vogel something to do.
We can go one at a time, one after another, rather than all at the same time. So.
I mean,
I
I have a computer focus, so
yeah. Let's get the engineers done.
yeah.
Yeah, so control engineering, EPS systems. Okay. EPS systems focus. Okay.
Can Vogel and I assist?
And going ahead and take yeah, one threat.
I believe you're assistant commander.
Maybe create the advantage to maybe get some backup systems back online.
Such as internal sensors and stuff like that.
Yeah, like internal sensors, lighting, emergency lighting, life support maybe. Even though that would be a waste.
Yeah.
I would say probably at least maybe some of the backup lighting systems to make it easier to move around.
Sounds good. If the GM will take that. Okay.
And the engineer said, "Let there be light."
Let's try not to trip over any more tree branches, shall we? And I'll move over to the console and start trying to pull up the files. Computers for a focus. I'll use 3 momentum here. I don't have reroll, but that's good enough. So I think we're at 4 momentum now, Sarissa. Whichever one the computer gives me. All right. We'll probably go team leader first because that's probably the most important one, and then we'll probably go botany, and then team leader, botanist, biologist, geologist in that order.
What's the star date on the log? I mean, how long ago was that log made?
So just before we lost contact. Right, yes. And that's the most recent log from him? Okay. And Vogel did have a plan of what they wanted to listen to next, or look for next, I believe is what that is. Leader, botany, biologist, geologist. Yes. If I'm understanding this correctly.
the biology.
Dr. Jessica Harvey. Okay,
Does that
confirming.
say that a species of pollen? Did that say that they found a species of pollen or encountered a species of pollen? I'm going to try to pull up information on that and then play the final log at the same.
Does the file have a genetic profile on that Lilium so we can scan specifically for it? Spore?
I need to step away for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
I'll play the final log entry, and then I think I know where I'm going next. Huh, a cave system.
It sounds like if they wanted to get away from plants, that would be the place to go.
I'm gonna radio up to the other shuttle. What is the other one's the Ohio, right?
Yeah.
We'll go to Runabout Ohio. Can you do me a favor and can you scan? There should be a cave system located not too far from this location. Can you start scanning for that cave system to see if you can pick up any human life signs? What is the composition of the cavern system? That could be why we're having trouble scanning through it then. Thank you, Vogel out. Well, I think we have a lead on our missing research team.
Potentially. But you sounded like you had an idea regarding what they call the species Z1354.
Well, no, it would appear that at least one of the away team had some type of reaction to the pollen it produced. If nothing else, we should at least try to locate this Lilium and try to see what we're dealing with, just in case. If it is some type of pollen that's having an adverse effect on human anatomy, it could be a way to figure out if we need to potentially treat the science team, or if it's an exposure, we might have to treat ourselves.
I believe both are reasonable conclusions.
They did say something about sick bay having someone in there. They might have more extensive logs in there if we could get something inside running eventually.
I'll look and see if I can access any of the medical logs from this terminal.
Okay.
It looks like the connection to this big computer is severed. Looks like our connection to the sickbay computer is severed.
Well, let's proceed to the sick bay. See if we can get the computers there operating.
This might be an origin point for all of this growth from within the facility.
So, are you saying that there's no way into the sick bay, or just the cut job?
I mean, I can certainly try to cut my way through the vegetation if you would like. Shall I, sir? Cut us off?
Make the attempt. Hopefully, try not to damage any of the equipment inside if possible.
Understood, sir. Being very careful. Uh, small arms? Have a threat for bold. Okay, yep, that sounds about right. Uh, while while cutting through, was I able to potentially determine the direction of growth, like if it was going out from the medical bay towards us, or okay? So the medical bay itself is relatively clear of plants. Sure, we've got the float. Uh, uh,
Do I detect any human DNA on or around the window? With that one float, I would like to try to identify which of the 4 team members the blood belonged to. And GM, please remind me which of the team members was infected. Okay.
Harvey is the biologist.
I passed that information on to the rest of the team.
Let's see. Is this window in the direction of the cavern system? Okay. The origin. Great. Is there a clear console that we can get the engineers on? That sounds fair to me. Anyone else?
Yeah, we need the information.
I the Shran?
Sorry, I accidentally had myself deafened.
Ah, you're acquiring the engineering skills of the Shran.
Spend 2 momentum to negate. Good to go.
Right. Vogel or doctor or whomever is going to look for the medical files and records.
Yes, that you've got this terminal running again.
It's the Shran, yes.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's the Shran, yes.
Okay. All right, so excuse me. What kind of role do I need to try to find medical information? The records and information on the infected team member. Three. Okay.
We have resources. Feel free to spend.
Yeah, I'd like to spend one for a third guy. I do.
You could do a threat and 2 momentum if you want. Get 4 dice.
Yes, that sounds like a good choice.
A.
I do. Does it say how the pollen was ingested? It was what? Okay. So I passed that information on to the rest of the team.
How much of that pollen is in the air where we are?
I'm guessing that would be another reason in science, reason in medicine.
Oh no.
Wow, that was. I've never seen two 19s before. I'm not detecting anything in the area.
Does the medical file have any further information on species Z1354 or its pollen?
Stand by, I'll check. I passed that information back to the commander, and I'm also trying to look through entries from the medical lab, whatever you want to call it, trying to figure out just how the doctor ingested that much pollen.
Isn't where the pollen came from.
Well, the circumstances. 'Cause,
Oh.
I mean, that's a pretty incredible amount of pollen to inhale. Okay.
It seems reasonable that that there is a sample of this plant or its pollen in the biolab.
Well, we can make our way towards there. That is possible. So,
I suggest we equip our rebreathers before we go in there.
I was about to say, given circumstances, I would say if whatever caused the increase in spore count is still there, it could have built up again.
Man, I wish somebody had suggested being a little more careful with this pollen before we beam down here.
It's fine.
All right, to the botany lab then.
As long as the danger is through ingestion uh, through orifices, we'll be okay. If it can also be dangerous through skin contact, we'll deal with that if it happens.
Mhm. Hey, to the biology room. Huzzah!
With the
botany
entire
room.
equip their rebreathers at this point.
Yeah, let's slip those on.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, this again. Shall I cut through again, sir? Ah, right. So it might be attempt to find a console and then access anything we can from that about this room. Even if you need to sidestep systems.
Let's get a focus scan on the room as well. Pollen. I think Doctor.
Well, Doctor or Vogel?
I'm driving right now. It's a little gonna
Fair
be
enough.
difficult for me to concentrate. It's raining here.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
so what's the role we need?
Reason, medicine, or science? Difficulty 1.
I am detecting a small concentration of pollen in the air in this room.
That's expected. That would give us a good baseline if we decide to travel from here to the cave to the caverns. We should have. We should make sure that we are continuously scanning for that particular pollen for the safety of the team.
All right, I'll set this tricorder for that scan.
That would be a 5-kilometer hike if we went there now. We could potentially get beamed back to the runabout and then closer to the caverns from there.
I would agree with that assessment.
I concur as well. Any recommendations on any other forms of investigation before we leave this facility?
Uh, is there, if they left, they might have tried to leave a message in some way, perhaps a pad. Uh, is there, does this facility have a head researcher's room, or the commander of this would have had their own quarters? Site security difficulty 2. Investigative techniques, question mark. A threat for my bold.
It's good thinking. We should check to see if they took any survival gear with them.
From what I can see, that hasn't been disturbed by roots, or even has. It looks like everything's still here. That should be everything you would expect to be here. Uh, Supplies, uh, materials. If they when they left, it was in a hurry. They didn't have time, or perhaps didn't want to spend the time to gather supplies. Which is concerning. They won't have the materials necessary to survive in the wilderness for a long period of time. Assumably, there might be edible flora that the team knows about that we don't. But still. Actually, with that in mind, they might not have even made it to the caverns if they were trying to run on foot. And she's kind of walking around a little bit as she talks, and she'll put her hand to the wall over a marking. Uh, Commander, are you seeing this? It looks like a phaser burn.
Interesting. Federation phaser.
Presumably. Uh, Actually, I'll see. Is there any discernible kind of direction or pattern to these? Like, is it possible to tell where the individual firing might have been standing and the direction they're firing into from these marks? Like the drag line that might be there, or the shadow of it. Okay. On a high setting.
Was going to be the question is, can we determine from the scoring and the damage what the phaser was set on?
By the damage, I would say high. It's one of the highest. Yeah. Uh, there might not be enough left in the dust, but the doctor might be able to find out what it was that was disintegrated here.
I can definitely try. I'm guessing that's reason and medicine again. Okay, I'd like to buy a die with bold. So you get a threat.
Well, there's your two.
And I want to re-roll one of the dice, one of the failures.
Go for.
So that's 3 successes. Okay.
Okay, there we go. We should be at 6.
My scans are indicating that the carbon dust is not humanoid.
And when we went into the medical bay, the plant growth seemed to indicate it wasn't natural. It was like it was guided by something or was chasing something. As strange as it sounds, I think the plants might have tried to kill them or chase them out. There was blood after all.
It that's not a unreasonable theory.
Well, certainly in the absence of other evidence, we must remain open to the possibility.
Uh, hmm. So we know they had one sick already, and one of them got injured, presumably climbing out the window. And it's a 5-kilometer journey through thick vegetation. It's doable, but especially in 3 or 4 days. But I don't know if beaming directly towards or as close as we can to the cavern is the best choice. It's not guaranteed that the team made it there, if that was where they were going.
Two possibilities. We could attempt to make the journey ourselves on foot, which would provide us the best viewpoint, or we could attempt to make a low-level pass with a shuttle and hope that we can see through the foliage.
I don't know if the foliage would permit that. I do have an idea though. If I go back outside and to that medical window, I might be able to see if there's any tracks, anything lingering still. There might be something. It's worth looking into at least. It might be able to tell if there's heavy footprints, if someone's carrying someone, things like that.
And I, for one, would like to scan the other side of that window and see if there's any more of that blood trail anywhere.
It might also be good if you can figure out how much blood is in the window. I'm sorry, Salam, what were you saying? Oh,
Proceed.
right, well, let's go then. This is getting worse and worse by the minute.
Okay.
Can other members of the team assist them on this?
Repeat the roll again, please.
Uh,
I can try to help, sir.
Wow.
I
Actually,
mean, we've got
oh,
momentum to buy that up if you want to. I'm going to, on the
Yeah,
note of
I'd
momentum,
like to buy
spend
that off
one.
for sure.
Yeah. On the note of momentum, I'm going to spend one to do the roll instead of threat because we've got so much threat on the table. Yay. Okay. So buy off with 2. Get rid of that. I bought one with 1. Mine was a diff. 2. Yep. We're at 6. We went down to 3. 1, 3.
Okay.
Would you say blood trail is like a heavy blood trail or? Okay. Okay. As long as it's not like a life-threatening amount of blood. Nice. Is there any footprints or anything like that? Okay. So it seems we're right. They started to make their way to the caves. How was this path cleared? Is it like a phaser burned a path, or did they cut it, or? And it's partly overgrown, but it's still mostly clear enough where you could more or less walk through it with relative ease. Commander Solon,
report.
I believe, well, they've clearly burned the path out of here uh, towards the cave system. Um, it's partially overgrown again, but we could follow it, reasonably follow it, with limited amount of clearing the path out again as we go. It will take a little bit longer to do it that way in terms of getting to the cave system, but if anything happened on the way there, we'll be able to see it, hopefully. That's what I have. I don't know if the doctor has any other insights.
Doctor.
I excuse me. I do see where there is where they cut a path through here, and there is an indication that at least one of them was injured. I'm finding droplets of blood along the indicated path of travel.
Very well. Lieutenant Starissa, you and I will try to follow their path. The rest of the away team to transport back up to the runabout. Commander Shran, keep a transporter lock on Lieutenant Starissa and myself at all times. Be prepared to beam us back if necessary, or to beam the doctor down to us if we locate the researchers. Once we reach the caverns, we'll have the rest of the team join us. But I would like to limit the exposure to the team. Lieutenant Sarissa is security chief. Do you concur?
It makes sense, sir. We'll be able to move faster as a smaller group. And hopefully, if any more materials are needed, the others will be able to grab it from the shuttle themselves. Or the runabouts themselves. Though, I might suggest that they could transport themselves down closer to where we believe this trail leads, and they can start from the other side. Be able to cover more ground, and if there is a true danger to these people that is imminent, we'll be able to better do something about it. If we're, or faster do something about it.
That's a good recommendation. Commander Thishran, that'll be your job.
Understood.
Walk, brisk jog, yep. More or less. It's more the idea of following the trail, we'll be able to see if anything happened to them on the trail by reading the environment.
I'm guessing that's going to wind up being made by Leaf.
Yep.
Well, you get. Even though you already have so much of it, what's one more? Reroll the ship. Technical expertise.
Yes, the ship. Go, shuttlecraft, go. Again, it was a 12 to a 10. Oh, I don't know what we can do with the float, so I think it's vanish. Perhaps an advantage that the next transporter roll is a little bit easier. Leith's getting used to the environmental factors affecting the transporter while he's using it. Question mark. Okay. Okay. I was trying to think of something to spend the float on rather than just letting it die. So, yeah, that works for me. It works for everyone else.
No, That's
Sweet. All right. Let's go then, Commander.
you have the lead.
We'll start off going at a brisk pace, but keeping an eye out. Uh,
Take a precautionary scan for life sign.
I was going to see if I could, in some inconspicuous manner, trying not to be obvious about it, glance around to see if I can spot whatever is watching us. I guess this is eyes and technology approach that we're going with here. Uh, Insight. We'll go with 1 momentum. Let me get it back. This is fantastic. Great. On the precaution of I don't know if the trees have ears, I'm going to, with a tricorder or pad, in some manner, type a message to convey it to Salon to inform him of this unique tale that we have.
I'm going to message back that we should avoid using phasers to clear the path, just in case the plants find that aggressive.
So you want me to use a machete to clear the path instead?
Perhaps we can piece our way through without causing damage to them.
So you just kind of avoid the plant life and be careful about it. Yeah, climbing. Got it. We can do that.
It'll take us longer. But
Fitness. Maintaining balance or climbing. It's just, does the prehensile tail help? Yes, fantastic. Athletics is a focus. And it was fitness security or fitness con? Right. I think I squashed the complication with that 2 momentum. Oh, I rolled as the runabout too.
I'm going to spend 3 momentum so I can get 2 extra dice because this is going to be a tough.
You're spending what, sorry?
I spent 3 and apparently I didn't need to.
Okay. Yep. It's not touching anything then.
Do the shuttlecraft sensors show the flora moving in the way that the team on the ground just noticed? Okay.
I'm going to attempt to study the plants in more detail. Because we got a lot of sensors. Basically, I'm going to start doing some like hypothesis stuff with the plants. Testing a few theories and such. Or trying to, anyway. The problem is I would be metagaming if I did, I think. How do I not meta this? Because we already know that we're kind of dealing with like a potential sentience, right? So my
That's the
yeah,
astute
so
guess, yeah.
yeah, so my hypothesis is it might have something to do with the pollen for a potential communication. So I'm going to look into. I'm going to direct some of the sensors that's not directed to the away team toward trying to study the pollen and potential. I don't want to say communication factors that way, but kind of that's what I'm saying. With that. Basically like studying the pollen in full and seeing how it interacts with each other. I'll use 3 moment. Yeah, 3 moments. So is this for a sensors op or for like a thinking thing? Right. I'm just trying to. Yeah, I'm just seeing if I have a focus, which I probably. Unless they'll take xenobiology in this case, but that's still probably a long shot. Still got a crit. Nice. Oh, and I do have a reroll.
And was the shuttle helping?
Yes. Go ship. The science of 0. Yes.
Yeah. With the engineering score of whatever it has, it's failed every time, but science is passed.
The shuttle knows.
The shuttle knows.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's all I got that I could probably do up here.
And we were suggesting that you can beam back down on towards the cavern side to see if they made it there, even.
Fogo's okay with that.
Time to find the best places to beam in on water.
Yeah, I'm not okay with beaming into water.
Because this is like home to Vogel.
I'm going to try to continue making progress while looking out for signs of the researchers, and watching the vines watch out.
Oh, hell no. For whomst of us two? Hi? I think it's better if it goes after me. I'm the one who knows how to fight back. And has a machete. Great. Hand-to-hand combat focus? Hands to brush? I don't
And
know.
divine combat.
It's close quarters, damn it. We get the idea of what was being done here.
Let's just all call it fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs. Except with a machete. Vines, thank you. I was going to spend 1 threat and 2 momentum just to be on the safe side. I can reroll too. Ooh, that was kind of... Oh, it's vicious one anyway. Ah, right. Speed, Commander, I think is best.
I can
And I think us avoiding them has not not succeeded in making them less aggravated.
agree. Lead the way.
Time to continue. Okay, we'll just phaser a path through again. Well, like we've got the path that's partially overgrown, so when we need to phaser it, we'll phaser it. But yeah, we'll just resume doing that again. It's trying to oppose it. Yeah, I'll take a phaser to oppose it rather than my feet. Yeah. Unless someone's directly telling me not to phaser it. Is it possible to stun a tree? I don't know. And we're trying to clear the path so we can get through it. Actually, yeah. Is it I have the borderline question of, is it possible to stun the tree and then make the fitness roll without being opposed? is it possible to try and get it to do that? Or is it you can try and find out? In the nature of being a good officer, I'm going to try and stun them to see if we can make that without killing more of them needlessly. Unless Salon is directly opposed to that idea.
No, Salon confers.
Okay.
The security chief, he's going to defer to your judgment.
Great. Control security, small arms for a hand phaser. Yep. Have fun with this threat. Reroll that for a giggle. There we go. That is kind of a yikes. I'll use the float to reroll 5. Much nicer. Okay. Okay. Prehensile tail gives me an extra d20. I'll go first, Salon, to see if I can make well, not that I need to make momentum for you, so either way. Hopefully we're good. No, I have prehensile tail, which gives me a free d20 on this kind of maintaining balance and climbing and extra acrobatic stuff. I think we tie. I will suck a complication for this, sure. How dare you take my advantage? Wow. That's not even an advantage, that's a talent. Okay. Solano, need yours. Yeah, still. That's fair. Yeah.
Fair.
Pulling the tail, how rude.
I will give you 3 momentum so I can pass this. Or class.
And you spent 3, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as we run, we're kind of doing our best to check for bodies, but yeah, we're running.
Let's check for bodies or traces of the team. Like there might be a ripped piece of uniform or something. Signs.
Wow, I don't really know what to do at this point.
Should we hail them, Commander?
I'm sorry, say that again. I had wife aggro there for a second.
I was talking to Commander Tishrin, should we hail them?
You are muted again. That's right. I suppose not.
I think you went AFK.
Sorry, was that for me?
Yes.
Sure was. Since you're technically in command of the shuttlecraft or the runabout.
Oh, I actually thought Commander Salon was there.
Nope.
Scan the surface. Sure, Vogel, I guess that would be best. Need to keep an eye on the away team anyway.
You heard the part where they picked up speed as if something's chasing them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think we'll try to hail the away team. Yeah. Which one is this one? The Missouri?
Yeah.
Runabout Missouri to away team?
Salon here.
Is everything okay, Commander?
We have encountered challenges and are trying to rapidly make our way to the cavern system. We are being attacked by the
Sorry, sir, I didn't catch the last. Do you say you're being attacked by the vines?
vines. Affirmative.
Do you need a beam out, sir?
We are safe for the moment, unless you know something I do not.
We just noticed that you picked up your speed as if you're being chased by something. I was just checking in, sir.
Very well. Maintain a transporter lock on us. We may need a quick beam out, but we'll maintain our path for now.
Yes, Commander.
Suggestions?
Not much to do except for sit and wait.
You could attempt to that body of water you have to beam into, find an appropriate place where you're not going to hurt yourselves beaming into it potentially. If that is needed.
I mean, I have no problem beaming down, so.
For the people that do. This is my suggestion to throw out there for you.
But yeah, I could try to map out the potential landing pad. Or beam site, I should say.
If they're being attacked by the vines, I don't know what's in the water. Landing pad might be better. Right.
I think the point was to
Yeah.
be on the other side of it, so.
Yeah. So, the doctor has a problem with water. Vogel, I guess you and me are headed down. I guess we're gonna splash down. I'm not afraid of the cold.
If you could locate a shallower part for the doctor to beam down into, would be.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Not splash into a deep part.
It's not the water I have a problem with. It's the fact that things tend to live in water.
True. True.
Well said.
That sounds better.
It's a plant-based piranha.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna roll this flat.
Hey, the little
Finally.
shuttle that could. It's always nice when the runabout actually gets a roll, like the small craft does it.
Yeah.
That would be sulfur.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say to Vogel. Is that sulfur?
Does my tricorder confirm? Vogel just nods.
Huh. Let's get.
Shall we roll the dice on high again, Commander?
It worked last time.
Roll the dice on high. Oh, nope. Okay. Bye, Salon.
I will spend 3 momentum.
I'm trying to imagine the sound of that. For the security, I no longer have my tail. I am disappointed. I'll spend a threat though for a third and hold. Okay, Salon, we've got resources for you to use to not get caught.
Well, good. I will spend 3 of that momentum for 2 extra dice. Pass. I do.
The return of the sprained ankle.
Just equal.
Do we see the rest of the away team there? Not quite jumping in, but more slipping in, as more controlled than just outright jumping, is what I'm trying to say.
I'd like to scan as deep as I can into the cave looking for humanoid life signs or humanoid remains.
Just kind of stand up from the water she slid into with that look of, this is fine, everything's fine, and shake off her arms and tail like,
Okay. I'd like to give you a threat for bold. For a third die. Wow. Yeah.
oh, we could try combat, just right? At much closer range might work if their stairs still have power.
True. Lieutenant Vogel, do you smell that?
Yes, sir. It's sulfur. The plant seemed to be extruding it.
Delightful. Ah. But I shall try this then. Taps com badge. This is Lieutenant Sarissa to Outpost staff. Uh, if anyone can hear me, please respond. Lieutenant Sarissa to Dr. Oliver Stewart. And she'll go through all of the names separately to see if there's. Yeah. It
Is
was
it,
worth a shot.
is it possible to scan for a carrier wave or whatever from a combat? Yeah, that's what.
Right, well, this looks like the way in, though. Does it look like a particularly steep way in or difficult way to enter? Okay. Okay. Shall we go on then, Commander?
Proceed. I'll follow you. The rest take up.
No, Circe will go in first and be unhappy about the water and the sulfur and all of this. Oh yes, rebreathers. Haha, I'm fine. I'm not taking that off to smell sulfur. I should just be unhappy about being wet then. Because damp fur is not pleasant. Beacons? Oh, flashlight.
Icon tricorders?
I think there's actually one in the engineer's kit. Really? Okay.
Yes, let us
Sure.
spend a moment to pretend one of us remembered to bring beacons.
It happens to be in the doctor's backpack.
Yeah, either or. Hmm.
But not bioluminescent plants. Well, let's go check it out.
Now, assuming that means me being the forward one, just carefully Being attacked by vines kind of has Cirrus a little bit on edge on the I don't trust much right now here. So I'll move forward, step, and actually that memory thing. Something about uh, metal rod out in front of you, and if it rusts, there's something bad. I just vaguely remember that, and it sounds like a good idea. Then again, we've got scanners that would tell us if there's something about to kill us in terms of gas. So, just going forward. Don't worry about me.
Well, Sloan's going to follow. He's not going to send his chief security officer into risk without going himself.
And as she's going, oh, that's not good at all. Okay. So she'll call out every now and then for specific members of the research team and stating where Starfleet. Shrink back.
Doctor, we need your assistance.
First is just going to take off her rebreather and offer it to the one that looks like they're struggling to breathe. Here, this should help. Where did you last see him? We can check again, but I didn't see him on the way here. There was 4 or 5 of them.
I'm attempting to scan Dr. Boone. Can I use a focus in emergency medicine? Okay. You said difficulty of 2? All right. I'm going to use bold medicine for a 3rd die.
Go for it, Chief.
Are you kidding me? I have angered the dice gods.
You do have a determination if you want to try both of them again.
If I want to try both of what again?
To reroll both. Missed.
All life is sacred. Either that or fear is the mind killer. Okay.
There we go.
As fast compared to what?
Um, for lack of any other idea, I mean, we're in the field. Um, he's reacting to pollen. Could I attempt the antihistamine to see if the immune reaction is similar to a allergic reaction? Okay. Hold on. Yes. An antihistamine to try to control the reaction to the pollen. Okay.
We could carry them to the surface and get them transported out of here to the shuttle or the runabout.
I was
It might
actually
be.
just about to suggest using the transporter's biofilters.
Hey, you're the doctor.
Are they safe to move, Doc?
Uh, is it infection through contact now, or uh, right? We could seal off the back portion of the runabout with force fields and have once in there, doctor gets a suit and goes in there to look at you properly. It's a better environment, I think. Commander, I recommend giving the other two what respirators we still have with us. Eh, we can breathe this for longer than they can for now. So you need to breathe the sulfur?
How could I test that theory?
Yes. Okay.
Well, since we've already been out there,
I was going to
Lieutenant,
check the cave first just to make sure it didn't fall over on the way out or something. Well, we would have seen him on the way in then actually with the cave, but yeah, we'll go outside to check for him.
Lieutenant Sir, so you and I will attempt to see if we can find the other doctor. Commander Shran, you're in charge here till we return. Lieutenant Vogel, I might suggest see if you can determine what it is about this cave that is inhibiting the disease or the virus or the spores.
I'll get started on that right away, Commander.
Yep, I did that just a second ago.
Okay.
Oh, what was it? What was this again?
How much momentum do we have?
3.
Oh, well, you said it was for both of us. So that's why. Okay.
I think you got a doctory thing coming up.
With very,
Um,
very hurt patients, yeah.
I'll give you a threat and 2 momentum. I don't think any of my focuses would apply. So I'll roll this. And I got to reroll. So basically back where we started.
Oh, is that a gain 2? Yes.
Yes, definitely. Well, my medicine is higher than my science, and medicine will allow me to use bold. Yes. Nice. Okay, turning to the rest of the team, he says, the pollen appears to be acting as a parasite, infecting the host body, and it's slowly taking control of the host body, manipulating some of the lower brain functions to help pollinate. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just thinking. Is it possible for you to reverse the effects of this virus, Doctor?
I would hope so, but at this point, I have no way of knowing for sure.
Well,
We essentially follow the same path that he probably took from the research station. Yes, no, we don't know.
uh, what is the ground? Is it rock beside the water, or is it dirt and earth? Given the roots and trees don't go near the water, I would like to try and see if I can find tracks uh, that would likely be more undisturbed due to that fact. Investigative techniques? Question mark. Okay.
Assist from Salon? Question mark.
One threat for bold. Oh well. To see how close they could get from the stream. Okay. Now we can follow the tracks for a while. My guess is that he was using the stream to get as close to the outpost as he could, then he was going to make a run for it from there.
It seems reasonable. Let's follow the tracks as far as we can.
Do the same thing again, assuming that will work. Yep. Okay. Same bold for thing. Yikes. Roll that again. Ooh.
We get the assist too.
Well, did you see? Okay. I may have to try and use a value here for a determination of my observation value is a little bit strange. Keen ears will reveal much. Maybe. Okay. 2. Let's go. Ha! Oh, it's still complicated. Okay, I can squash that though. Yes. The comp range was increased because I was using the focus. Is he high up a tree, or like he's not within hand? Is he within hand reach or no? Commander, if you give me a boost, I can get up there and cut him free.
Well, I will give Sarissa a boost.
And I shall try to climb up there. Okay. I'm guessing fitness security opposed. Okay. Do I have my tail back in terms of use? Okay. Athletics as a focus. Okay. I'll roll this. No, I've got my tail back, which gives me a free d20. Ooh! I think I'm... If I take the complication, I'm losing my tail again, aren't I? We'll do that. Unarmed strike, or am I using the machete for this? Okay. I was just double checking. Yeah, I mean right-footed. Security diff 4. I'll give you 2 threat for momentum, sure.
Sloan's going to try to get underneath in case she misses.
Oh, I completely forgot I had that clicked. Would athletics apply to that? If not, then that's just 4. Huh, fair enough. So either way, I'd buy that off, so I'll have no momentum. Or not have the focus, so we'll have no momentum either way. Okay, I think I need to hands on the tree, wrap the tail around him to hold him with that as I go down. So okay, athletics as a focus. Okay, and I'll give you a threat for a 3rd die. I made that. Let's do that for a giggle. Because I can use the Equi medal, or the Equi necklace to reroll anything. And I'll use that on that to non-complicate, and actually, hey, get an extra thing. I just wanted to use the Equi necklace. Yeah. I'll just lower him down to Salon, because that's the easier way to do things. Let's get him back to the water and then up towards the cave.
Indeed.
Doctor, are you conscious? Actually, let's just get him to the side of the riverbed and then check him first. I'm not a doctor, but I can at least check if he's alive. Right, Salon? We can do that.
We can certainly try.
I have an 11.
Okay, I'm one higher than so I guess Salon will do it.
I can. You...
I'll give you a momentum just in case.
Wow, nice. Yeah, it didn't help you. Ooh, broken ribs. That makes carrying him more complicated, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we'll have to be much more careful. My first reaction was to having beamed up to the ship in a containment area, but our doctor is down here.
And they said they need the um, air from the sulfur smell. I'm going to call it that until I know what it actually is, to help with containing. Commander, this will sound weird. I will need your jacket and some long, strong branches, if we can find those. And essentially use jackets and long branches through the sleeves to make an impromptu stretcher. If we can find suitable branches.
That aren't alive and trying to kill us.
Yes, preferably. Preferably. Okay. I've got a 30. This is
So
very much survival.
I'll help you.
Okay, this is very much survival, and I do not have survival. Investigative technique? Question mark? Probably not. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. I'll use a momentum for a third, and we'll go from that. Yikes. Thank you so long. Yes, there is. Uh, there's not much I can do about that. Okay. Yeah. I think this is you, Salon. You're the engineer here.
What was that with engineering?
Daring engineering.
He had to be daring.
Yes. Something I actually learned in a outdoor first aid course. You can use jackets and such to make improvised stretchers. There-
I'm going to. You said difficulty 3, then I'm going to give you a 2 threat and spend the last momentum.
Okay. I'm assuming I can assist with this. So, A.
I did.
We had to get another complication. Okay. All right, let's get him on and get moving then. And be very careful about it.
All the things.
Okay. Um, athletics. Okay. Uh,
Could our mission profile, our mission directive in this case, be used to spend a determination? And then I will spend my determination here.
all right. I'll back you up then.
All right, so that's 2 automatic successes, right?
Mhm. Just roll the 2 and hope you don't comp. I said don't comp. 1 second.
That's fun.
Yeah. That's the stretcher breaking, unless you've got a means to.
For my I don't think I have any way of making this go away because I didn't get my determination back on the veteran thing.
Unless you've got a milestone that could be arguably applicable, but I don't think so.
I was going to suggest reflection on the past creates success in the future, and rather than reflecting on the past, he just does something spontaneously.
And being spontaneous, now that is a challenge.
What do you say, GM? Well, rather than careful contemplation of what's happened before, Salon will just act. Understood. I'll run it by you after the session. Seriously?
You can veteran see if you get it back.
Oh.
Hey.
Let it ride. At this point, you gotta let it ride.
Yeah.
To drink. Stabilize or balance. Hey.
Complication range?
Uh,
All right, I'm gonna try to grab him and then make my way to the bank.
grab yourself and I can grab Stuart. Because you're having problems yourself, whereas Sarissa's fine. Oh, so I don't have the opportunity to try and grab them as they go past. Okay.
Yes. Take a threat. Actually, with my fitness and security, I'm gonna spend those 2 momentum as well. Take 3 threat.
Probably more running along, but yes. For balance, I'm guessing. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
But you rolled a 20
You didn't
anyway.
need to hope they got yeah. Yay! Did I twist my ankle? Oh. Oh, good, you got out, Commander.
That was interesting.
Yeah, you could say that, yes. Uh, we might just have to risk carrying him normally from now. Well, normally as between the two of us and as best we can for consideration to his ribs, but that or try to float him behind us down the water, but that is less preferable.
That seems problematic.
Mm.
And I am out of jackets.
Yes, am I. And as much as I know that you can use pants for it, I do not want to try it.
Shall we?
I'll get his arms, hold his legs back, or as in out. Don't pull, but don't let him fold on himself.
Oh, we can do a out of care. We can do the fireman's carry thing.
He's got broken ribs.
I mean, it's something I learned in Boy Scouts. The two people that are carrying create kind of like a chair by grabbing
Oh,
each other's wrists.
that kind of
Do you know
fireman
what I'm
carry.
talking about?
Okay, that kind of
Yeah.
fireman carry.
Oh,
Yes, we could do that.
you know what I'm talking about, Prax?
I do.
I've never heard it called a fireman carry before. That's what threw me. I was like,
I mean, basic training was 30 years ago, so
yeah, that's fair enough. It's the medical care. That was.
I just have the composition of the cave.
In their jackets. I think we both got sprained ankles.
I'm guessing this is probably going to be a science thing, so I would think Vogel should lead.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's minerals and such, which I would assume is sciencey, vocally. And if it's got to do with rocks, I mean, you've got lots of experience with that. You had the Crystal Companion for a while.
Yes, but I think this one is more probably a chemical reaction.
Oh, I know. I'm being really generalistic. Generalistic? I don't even know if that's a word, but it is now.
Yeah. So I think definitely science. Um, I I'm fine taking the lead unless the doctor wants to do, because I think we have the same science score.
No, I'm okay with you leading.
All right.
Sulfur seems like an obvious choice.
Yeah. Then there's two options for that, but there's one in low amounts, which maybe. Oh, I guess there's three options here.
Oh, right, the calcium sulfide. Polysulfide sulfide. Huh?
The problem is some of these are stable elements too. So if they're stable, like the sodium chloride would be stable, so that wouldn't be an option, obviously.
Yeah, and it would seem to be something in the water, perhaps, given that it's more what they don't like. Potentially. If I'm understanding. I could be wrong. I'm just guessing there. So ignore that. Hydrogen sulfide sounds reasonable to me. Oh, that's low amounts. It could just be low amounts necessary.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. The calcium sulfide or the hydrogen sulfide would be stable.
Dolomite? I think that's just a rock, isn't it? Oh, it's a crystal.
Same thing with the sodium sulfide. Wait, I lied. Hold on. The hell? Which one's sodium?
Wait, isn't that actually just salt?
I think it is.
Table salt.
So that might not be stable.
The vines are like snails. They do not like table salt. Sodium sulfide dolomite is what I'm thinking.
Let's just throw the. See, the problem is if we throw all sulfides and you say one of them's it, we wouldn't ever know which one.
We'd have to try and find out, yeah. But we'd know we got the right one, or if it's not any of them.
So we could probably rule out the salt. So I'd say we probably go the sodium chloride, the limestone, and then we pick the calcium sulfide.
Okay, yep.
Are any of these
The calcium polysulfide.
Yeah, the polysulfide one.
Okay. So
Yeah, we'll go with the table salt. We'll go to limestone and the calcium polysulfide. Limestone and the salt. Sodium chloride, the salt. The limestone, calcium polysulfide. I'm not too versed in chemistry. I was a physicist myself.
Biologist.
I have it written down in the Tenshi chat.
I did more biology then.
I don't think limestone would be reactive. If it was carbon, I could see, which the carbon one is probably going to be the next one I would choose.
Depends if it's something reactive we're talking about. That might just be what the thing doesn't like, the plants don't like.
Well, carbon is like a natural filter. That's why I like drinking water ones. Like if you have a drinking water filters like a Brita filter, it's carbon that's in the filter. If you ever have a filter for fish tanks, it's carbon in there. Just straight up carbon. If you're in a hospital and you drink too much, they give you a carbon shake to soak up the alcohol, because that's kind of like the property of carbon is it mixes with everything.
Yeah, activated charcoal.
Yeah. Which charcoal is nothing but carbon, so.
Okay.
There you go. Let's go with the calcium polysulfide then.
It's not me.
I'll use the momentum for that dice just for a reroll.
Yep.
Reason science. Hey, reroll.
Hey, Brax. The focus team dynamics says can be activated when laying out a plan for a group or when assisting or providing a bonus on tasks toward a group effort. So can I don't really use a focus when you're assisting, but can I with that?
I have a science of 4, actually, yeah.
You can assist.
Reason and science, 1 dice.
Probably run it again.
Hit 10.
It's 7 probably.
7.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see how good this roll is.
Assist once more.
Me?
Yep. Good doctor and good commander. 4, 9.
We could have had that 5.
Almost. That was
Sorry.
9, though. It's no problem. It is the will of the dice. And they are fickle.
Especially for me tonight. I don't know what's going on.
For funsies, one more time. We're not really in a time crunch.
$12.
Okay. It's probably the salt then. We'll switch to salt.
Okay.
Run it again.
Magic salt. Oh, we know how. What? Ooh. Can we? Do we have access to that down here, or do we need to manufacture someone? Assuming that's an engineer thing. To synthesize salt.
Well, the replicator will give us all the salt we need.
Replicator table salt.
But then the doctor can do a concoction to create the sodium nitrate.
Oh. He's always radiant.
Well, snap.
Did you use a new blush today? I'm sorry, that's bad.
Well, we just need to synthesize salt from the ship and get it down here, yes, or from the runabout and get it down here, yes.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yep.
It might be easier to make the mixture up on the runabout than bring the mixture down here.
It is.
So let's get, I don't know, if Vogel and Thashran want to do that, question mark?
And then at the very least, we're out of this atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's safe for the
That makes
those
sense.
if it's safe for those on our crew to get back, then we should be able to take everyone back and get them treated.
I mean, if it's just a case of breathing salt, we could just tell Leith on the runabout to add a mixture into the atmosphere, and then when we get up there, we're breathing in salt. a nice coastal air.
Sea breeze.
Please add the fragrant sea breeze to the air, if you would.
Right. Do you want me to head out of the tunnel to tell Leith to do that, or
I don't think we're out of contact though.
I don't know if we can contact from the cave? We can try. Actually, that's reasonable. I know we couldn't transport into the cave though, so either way, we need to move out. Commander, would you be doing that and requesting the
Swan to
Leith
Missouri.
do that?
Sloan will walk out of the cavern and attempt to contact the shuttle again. Ensign, I will need you to adjust the environmental controls on the runabout to include a X portion of salt to the atmosphere.
Hydrogen sulfate.
Or, what was it?
It was hydrogen sulfate, correct? Right.
It was the table salt.
It was.
Sodium chloride. Increase the
Right.
sodium chloride content in the environment of the runabout by 10%. Or whatever it is Vogel told me that we need. Very well. Stand by to transport members of the away team and the research team to the runabout when you receive our signal. And then Sloan will go back to the crew. Right.
And that's where we get the sodium nitrate mixture.
Yes.
Which we shall leave in the doctor's capable hands.
I'll get out of the way for the doctor to do his thing.
He did message he had to leave. I don't know if he left or not.
is really time for sonic showers when we get back. Oh, great. We don't even need to wait. Get rid of the sulfur smell and the salt smell and all of that.
Other than taking turns in the sonic shower, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I agree with that.